I'm able to blaze through every door of opportunity, but leave a wedge in the door so that others may follow.
Because I am able.
I will take responsibility for my own destination and uplift my brothers who seek to do the same.
Because I am able.
I will see my brothers as a reflection of myself.
Because I am able.
So I'm Dr. Lamenta Sweetie Conway, and the I Am Able Foundation was really born out of tragedy. One of our younger cousins, we kind of think of him as a nephew because he's so much younger, had been shot and killed, and he was 15 years old due to Southside violence. And one of our favorite cousins who was there when that happened, he was 14 at the time, and he actually came to live with us. And in that defining moment, it changed everything for him. And he decided that he was no longer going to walk on, kind of straddle the fence with his life. Even though he was always a really good kid, he realized that he had to kind of declare who he was going to be. And he was actually doing well. He was getting straight A's in school. He was playing on a football team, and he was thinking about how he would become a recruit for high school. And one day he was walking home, and he became the incidental or coincidental, unintentional victim of also Chicago Southside violence, and he was shot in his back and lungs and was in the ICU for a long time, and he ultimately ended up paralyzed. And I began to wonder, what can we do to make a difference in the community? And what really came to me is that I felt like we had to increase our mentoring. I learned something from my young cousin, Devontae, and what he told me was that a lot of times the boys would view other boys as ops, almost like they weren't real people. And they depersonalized them, called them ops. And immediately that came to my mind that about the biblical story of Cain and Abel, and how God confronted Cain and asked him, you know, where's your brother, already knowing the answer to the question before he asked him, and he's indicated, I'm not my brother's keeper. And it came to me that yes, we are our brother's keeper, and some would go as far as to say that we are also our brother. And with that came the notion or the idea of the I Am Able Foundation. The Urban Bridges Medical Mentoring Program is a three-pronged program. First, every student is paired one-to-one with a physician mentor. We try to pair them based on what they feel like their interests are. They want to be an OB-GYN doctor, or if they want to be a surgeon, and we try to pair them up based on their interests.
I like to open up because I have a lot of things going on at home, like problems with coming to the program. My mom is a single mother where she can't bring me to the program, so I learned that I really do have to open up to the mentors who are helping me.
I was able to go with my mentor, and we visited the neonatal unit at Loyola, which is one of the fields that I'm interested in, so that was also an opportunity I probably would have been able to get.
You guys know that I started medical school with 3 kids under the age of 3. And I graduated in 4 years. And it always is so important that you don't give up.
I want to talk about when I first met Dr. Conway about 4 years ago. I was in a bad spot trying to figure out how to get into medical school. You know, my test scores weren't matching what my grades were saying. I couldn't get into any programs. And so I just really sought a mentor who could relate to me, who could break it down for me and tell me what I need to do next to be successful in this field.
Hello, my name is Villain Antoine, and I'm a second-year medical student at the Medical College of Georgia, and I'm also a second lieutenant in the United States Army. I basically always wanted to be a doctor, but it was my confidence that I can actually do it that was really the biggest obstacle that I had to overcome, and she definitely helped me overcome that obstacle. Got me up to the point that I was actually confident enough to apply, and I also received great feedback on all my essays and secondary essays as well. And in the end, I ended up getting secondaries for all the schools that I applied to, and for just about all the schools that I sent secondaries to, I got interview invites. And all the schools that I interviewed at, I actually got accepted into, and I definitely would have never thought that that was possible without her help. So,
Those mentors are there for them to even review their essays, give them some good feedback just in life. The second part is that each student also has academic advising. I personally recall being told, you can't go to this college, you're not smart enough to do this, can't do that. Our goal is to break that cycle and tell them, yes, you can, yes, you can, yes, you can, to all of the above.
A lot of my peers didn't understand how I could be in honors classes with them, coming from a household of 2 black parents, or how I was in AP classes without either being adopted or having a parent who was non-black, at least one. And so I think that was my first introduction to the barriers that kind of like existed ahead of me.
I think this exposure and this kind of training is providing these high school and college students with an education that medical students receive. And so the sheer fact that they are being exposed to this and learning the proper techniques and the proper approach to obtaining a history from a patient is leaps and bounds, years ahead of what their colleagues would be doing when they matriculate in medical school. So to be able to set up a foundation for that kind of approach, for that framework, is an outstanding experience for them as well.
It's about a push and pull philosophy. We push them, but then we also pull them. Because it's one thing to tell a kid that in order to be successful in college, in the sciences, you need to take advanced placement classes in high school, because that's what's going to help put you on a equalized block with other students. But there's another thing to say, take the advanced placement classes, but then you don't have the support for it. So part of what we do is we try to provide tutoring and additional support to make sure that if we try to get you to push the envelope or set the bar a little bit higher, we're there to help make sure that you can actually succeed. We want to set you up for success.
I feel like it's given me the confidence that it's definitely possible to become a surgeon or a doctor, and I don't know, it's encouraged me that I can become one. I mean, I had encouragement before, but it's just like good to have it from an actual doctor. So
it's been pretty fun. I actually learned a lot from my peers. So one thing is, well, I actually enjoy talking about college. So that's one thing me and the other seniors in this program actually talk about is college, what college we'll be going to, what do we want to major in, and stuff like that.
The third part is the Saturday Morning Professor, which is our seminar series. And basically that's the curriculum where we teach history taking. So our students will learn everything from the chief complaint, history of present illness, past medical history. They dissect those, and those are taught each month by a specialist in a variety of fields. The specialist will teach them in vignette style or case study, and they will kind of reinforce the objectives, the learning objectives for that particular part of the history taking by presenting it in a really classic or interesting medical way that's very consistent with their particular specialty.
I don't have a lot of family here in Illinois, mainly in Mexico, but being in this organization really helped me make new friends who have the same goals as I do, and together I feel like we all kind of push each other, like we can all do it. But I want to be that role model for like my family, like, because we don't really have one in our family specifically.
I think one of my proudest moments, was when Diana and Carl, 2 of our now seniors, won the Posse Foundation scholarship. That was life-changing.
I was chosen for DePaul University in Greencastle, Indiana. I was nominated by Dr. Conway, so that was like really cool because my school isn't a nominating site, but the I Am Abel Foundation is, so I was able to get nominated for that. They actually called me, I think the day of my interview at night or something, and they told me that I got it, and I'm like, yes.
One of the things we would like to do is to expand our program nationwide, reach more students, help more students know that, this is an attainable goal. In the year 2025, there's going to be a physician shortage, which is going to be hardest hit in the inner cities where a lot of people really don't want to work, where reimbursement is not as high and is not a high motivating factor. African Americans make about 4% of less than 4% of the practicing physicians, but more than 15% of the population. We would like the community to, the medical community to reflect the community, because we believe if these kids see more people like them, they're going to actually believe that, oh, I can do that. I mean, you have to see it to be it. We say that all the time. And our goal is to help others in other communities, and especially in Chicago, realize that you have to see it to be it. We want to reach out to a larger segment of physicians of all colors who care about the mission. And we want to also just encourage our young people to take on the challenge of becoming a doctor. We have a shortage coming, and there's going to be a great need.